Hello all, it is Thursday, March 26, 2009, and welcome to freetradingvideos.com. This is Matador, and we are watching the broad markets after a nice gap up this morning. Fill that gap intraday on a 3-minute chart. Again, just looking at the spiders, broad market. And after the nice gap fill, 8150 area, still fighting this 82 mark, back up to the 8250 area. And again, if you remember from our previous videos, why this resistance is being so pervasive. If you zoom out on some charts, the 15-minute chart, you see that number getting hit over and over again, this area between 82 and 8250. And the great reason for that, of course, is this gap back here. All right, we're still chewing on that. We're still letting these people out of the worst sell-off they've sat through probably in a long time. When they get their money back, they decide to sell out. Again, that's a great definition of overhead resistance. We're always watching these people, making sure they're gone before breakouts occur, and that's, again, what most people are waiting for and why stocks need to rest, take a break. Look out on a daily chart. Again, this is that gap fill back here, right? Also running up into this declining 100 MA. So this 82 and 8250 area right in here becomes a bit of a problem. We've been mentioning that over and over again over the few days, but we are holding up nicely, putting in a really nice high base today, and that's kind of on some news events. So administration is unveiling financial system overhaul. They're going to put into place some things that are going to help try to avoid what's happened again in the future here. GM says they're going to, the incentive plan that they laid out, 7,500 of their employees are taking their early buyout and retirement incentives. Jobless claims set new record, however. That was up to 652,000 from previous week's revised number of 644,000. So the GDP came in at negative 6.3 instead of negative 6.6, and the GDP is the broadest measure of economic activity. So that was a good thing. It wasn't as bad as people thought, and that helped pop the markets up a little bit this morning. Also, stocks are rising on good economic news, things like Best Buy. They actually had a good profit report. Other good news down here. So again, just some news events driving this, but not enough to break through this resistance, even though we're chewing on it, banging our head against this again and again and again. If it holds up like that for very long, that tells me there's not a lot of selling pressure in the markets, and people are trying to get through this gap here. Again, the trend, however, is now mixed. So between that and the trend Q, not necessarily the best time to go long when they're not lined up. So the trend's at 1.5. Trend Q is at 0.28, which seems like a major schism here. I don't even quite believe it, so I'm being very careful about that. Sometimes the VIX can be the tiebreaker, and the VIX has now dropped on the good news and chopped around sideways after the gap fill. And so if this breaks below the low and heads south, then I would have more confirmation, especially if the trends were then both below, say, 0.8 and falling, but not overbought. Very good. So those are my thoughts on the day. Lots of relative strength and weakness stocks out there. I'm going to burn a video about Thinkorswim this evening, and also how to utilize that for scanning and also creating risk graphs, which is pretty fun. So I'll show you that, and stay tuned. I'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of the day.